أما بعد، نبدأ اليوم إن شاء الله الحديث الحادي عشر من 40 عن أبي محمد الحسن بن علي صدت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وريحانته رضي الله عنهما قال: حفظت من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. رواه الترمذي والنسائي. Hadith number 11, on the authority of Abu Muhammad al-Hassan, the son of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the grandson of the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, may Allah be pleased with him and his fathers, said, I memorized from the Prophet, from the Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, that leave that which makes you doubt, or that which does not make you doubt. Leave that which makes you doubt, or that which does not make you doubt. Leave that which gives you doubt, gives you unease, makes you feel not right, or that which you know you're okay with, or that's okay with the deen. That gives you peace of mind. You know what? I'm not going to fall into haram or makruh. We mentioned in one of the previous hadith the saying of Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, who said, لم أرى أسهل من الورع كل ما شككت في شيء تركته. Right? Or ما حاك في نفسك فتركه. Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, said that which gives you doubt, makes you feel unease. He says nothing is easier than wara'. High level of taqwa. Every time I see something I have doubt in, I see doubt in, I leave it. I don't do it. I stay away from it. For example, let's say in salah, during prayer. When you are praying and you have shak, you have doubt whether or not your wudu is still valid or not. What do you do? I'm praying. And all of a sudden I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not sure if my wudu is still valid or not. What do I do? Make wudu? Continue? What?
Do it again.
Renew the wudu.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, renew the wudu. What are you saying?
I think when it's passed, we continue because it's
Already happened?
yeah.
If you have
No, but again, the Imam saying he has a doubt. He's not sure that.
yeah,
it will
if
come.
you're
No, I
in
have to
doubt
do-
and you don't have a thought that confirms that you broke your wuzu,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to continue
Okay.
because doubt does not overweigh the belief,
A fact.
a fact. Yeah.
Brother, that's correct. You continue praying. We say, لا يزول يقينا
Bishop.
إلا يقين. Something that's factual, nothing overrides it or takes a spot except that which is also a fact. For example, modern day, I'm like, oh, I don't know if my wudu is valid or not. Or actually, I was like, okay, no, my wudu is valid. The brother comes and says, no, it's not. Now there's check, there's doubt. Right? I'm like, no, I'm sure before I left the house, I made wudu. That I'm sure of. So the only thing that can nullify it is something else that you're sure of or another fact. So he's like, oh, you know what? Me and his other brother witnessed you bled, for example, right? Or you passed the gas or something. We remember. Then that's another fact that your wudu is no longer valid. Wudu is no longer valid. So you don't go based off of doubt. You go based off of what you know for a fact. And inshallah, no ism upon you. Very good. Now let's apply this hadith. Very, very important for us, especially people living in the West. Very important. For people living, let's say, in non-Muslim countries. Very important. دع ما يريبك إلى ما لا يريبك. Leave that which you have doubt for that which you don't have no doubt for. For example, you don't know this food you're about to eat is halal or not halal. It's tayyib or not tayyib. What do I do?
Don't eat.
What would you say again? I'm sorry.
أكل اللي أمامي ما أعرف هذا حلال ولا مش حلال. آكل ولا ما آكل؟ ما آكل.
أهل الكتاب تأكل تسمي وتأكل. إذا أهل الكتاب تسمي وتأكل.
ما شاء الله. If it's أهل الكتاب what I'm saying, but I said I'm in doubt. I don't know. I didn't say it was halal, أهل الكتاب or not. So I'm just in doubt. I don't know if it's halal or not.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
العلماء
it's vegetarian there.
ربما يكون ميتا.
Yeah.
قد يكون ميتا.
حل لكم طعام أهل
It could be
الكتاب.
meita, right? It could be meita. It could be so many things. It could be like khinzir. I'm not sure. It looks meat to me. I'm like, leave it. Leave it.
Yeah, leave it.
Yes. Leave. The hadith says da. Leave. Leave. That's what you have doubt in.
What's the word for leave in Arabic? What's it?
Over here it says da. Another word is utruk. Right? But over here it says da.
Da.
Da. Right? Da ma yuribuk ila ma la yuribuk. Leave that. If you have doubting for that, you should not like this water is halal. Or I know this over here, this fish is good. Right? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, fish you can eat.
Fish, everything, inshallah, seafood you can eat.
حتى if you found dead fish you can eat it.
That can have like alcohol in it, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You want fish over
We are better fried.
Yeah, but that's what they added upon it. The thing itself is halal. Yeah, the fish itself is halal.
Yeah, but and the issue is that some of our brothers they have doubts, whether this fish is made in the same pan as
Same pan, so on and so forth.
I don't know what to
Exactly.
make of that.
I mean,
You
wallahi,
cook fish, like you go to McDonald's, you order a fish, you don't know where they're.
you apply this hadith. You apply this hadith. If you have doubt in it, just leave it. If you have doubt in it, just leave it. Not only that, from the wara, from taqwa, right? From having high levels of iman, is to actually, you see that some of the ulama, or some of the salaf, they would leave that which was halal, مخافة وخشية أن يقعوا في الحرام, of the fear that they might fall into haram, even though this thing is halal. But because they know maybe it will lead into it, or maybe because it will create doubt, they will just leave it. They will just leave it, even though it's halal for them.
Is that encouraged? Because right now we kind of, like this kind of approach will make us more obsessed, and you kind of,
Let me help you. Because it will create doubt and it will create waswas.
what's first?
It could create waswas, right? For example, let's go back to salah. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not sure my wudu is. Maybe I saw some stain. Maybe I saw blood on there. I don't know if I washed it correctly, right? And then I go start praying. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I made wudu correctly. Maybe I washed it, but I forgot to make wudu. Forgot my faith. And then you're like, oh, I don't know if I read 3 rak'ah or 4 rak'ah. It creates waswas, right? Then what do you do?
ركعتين السهو.
It's from shaitan.
ركعتين السهو.
But how many times in every salah are you going to do it?
Yeah,
No.
I do something called wudu. I get this most person.
But one thing is that if they do every salah, they come to me. That's obsessive
Inshallah.
compulsive disorder. I can treat that.
Yes. You leave it because it will ruin you. It will lead you to ruin. Because eventually that will lead you to saying, you know what, I'm just not even going to go to the masjid because I'm like, this and that. And then from there you're going to be like, at home itself, you're not going to pray. You're like, if my salah's not accepted, right? Because I have to keep doing it and I'm not sure if it's accepted because my wudu is not valid or I don't know how many rak'ah I did. Then you're going to start leaving that as well. Be like, why even do it if I know it's not going to be valid? So you're better off continuing, right? You go for a yaqeen, you go, okay, my wudu, I know I made wudu. That's it, we pray on it. You let go of the waswas. You let go of the waswas. Okay? Now going back to what the brother saying, Dr. Salih. He said, is this thing encouraged? Because people will be like, oh, you know what, every little thing, I'm going to be like, I can't touch this, I can't do this, I can't do this and that, so on and so forth. Let me tell you something. Abu Hurayra, radiallahu anhu, may Allah يكون سئل عن التقوى فقال هل أخذت طريقا لا شوك؟ قال نعم. قال كيف صنعت؟ قال إذا رأيت الشوك عدلت عنه أو جاوزته أو قصرت عنه. قال ذاك التقوى. أبو هريرة رضي الله عنه was asked about taqwa. Taqwa is loose translation is fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, about taqwa, he said, have you taken a road with, how do you say, a choke? Spike? Thorn? Yeah. Let's use that. He said, yes. He said, what did you do when that was in your road? He said, I swayed away from it. I took caution. I was very careful. It's like walking on eggshells, right? He said, that right there, that what you did, that's taqwa. That's fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now some people say, what is this like, man? Everything I gotta be careful of, everything is a no. Huh? Everything is a be careful, you can't eat this, you can't do this, you can't, so on and so forth. Everything is no. First of all, that's a person with very, very weak iman. Very weak iman. Very weak faith. Because to them, there's no akhirah. This dunya is it. So if I don't enjoy myself here, I'm not going to enjoy myself. If I don't enjoy myself here, I'm not going to enjoy myself. So, you know what, let some things slide. It's okay. When the Prophet ﷺ says what? Ad-dunya jannatul kafir wa sijnul mu'min. This life, this worldly life, is the heaven, the paradise of the non-believer. But it is the prison of the believer. What is a prison? What's a prison? You're trapped, huh? You have too much space, you can't do much. That's a prison. That's a prison. And we're okay with it. Why are we okay with it? Because we know, inshallah, is in the hereafter. We believe in the hereafter. Huh? First thing, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ. Right? He also said, peace be upon him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, حُفَّتْ النَّارِ أو حُجِبَتْ النَّارِ, two different riwayat, بالشهوات وحفت الجنة بالمكاره. Hellfire was surrounded, or the way to it is paved by desires, by wants. Huh? Music, women, yes, all kind of food. Huh? And the heaven, or paradise, is surrounded or is paved by that which we don't necessarily can sustain or like to do. Right? Like getting up at night and praying, when I can just be at home, relax, after work, put my feet up, reading the Quran, I can do something else, fasting when I can be eating, huh? Staying away from women when I can be flirting or doing all kind of stuff. So on. And even in this life you'll find anything worth having is what? Hard to attain. PhD. A few of us here did it. They encourage us, but it's difficult. That's why you respect it. Right? You talk to them like, brother, be doctor. Right? It's hard to attain. Big muscles, mashallah, right? Some is genetics, you know, but they worked hard for it. That's why it's respected. Jannah is not cheap. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's reward is not cheap. It's not something easily attained. He said to Adam alayhi salam, أخرج بعث النار. قال ومن? Take out the people of hellfire from your sorry? Descendants. From your dhurriyyah. He said, who are they? He said, from every 1,999. Who's good at that? What percentage is that? 99. Right? 99%. All of them going to hellfire. Allah said, Surah Qaf. Huh? من كل جهنم تأتي وتقول هل من مزيد. هل مزيد, and will never be satisfied. And when 100 people go in, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sets his foot in it. It's not easy to attain Jannah. We need to keep that in mind when we say everything is haram, everything is, and that's not true. That's just a person who has weak iman. They just look at it that way, as everything being haram, everything being no, and so forth. Everything being no, and so forth. There's actually a very good qasida over here by Ibn Mu'taz, who said, خلي الذنوب صغيرها وكبيرها فهو التقى واصنع كماش فوق أرض الشوك يحذر ما يرى لا تحقرن صغيرة إن الجبال من الحصى. Right? He used the saying of Abu Hurairah, which we mentioned earlier. He made a beautiful poem saying that it doesn't sound good in English, but he says, leave all forms of sin, small or big. That is taqwa. هو التقى. واصنع كماشي فوق الأرض يحذر ما يرى. And behave as the person who's walking over the thorn that we just mentioned. He's careful. He's looking where he's going. Right? لا تحقرن صغيرة إن الجبال من الحصى. Don't underestimate how small the sin is, how little, how small it may be in your eyes. For mountains are made of rocks. Mountains are made of rocks. And we should behave as Muhammad told us as a believer who is what? Gharib in this dunya. Gharib doesn't fit in. Doesn't fit in. That's how we should behave because we know the akhirah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us it is better. خير وأبقى والعاقبة للمتقين. Coming for those who have taqwa. And we'll end there inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. Inshallah,
I think that when the Brother Sabir asked, that sometimes we get too far out, overboard in investigation. And a lot of time I found that, when we even go to the Muslim brother, we start to investigate where exactly you get your grocery from, and so on. I think that is all the hadiths are their individuals, like, umirtu an uqatila an-nas, every hadith is individualized to the place, and then you have to reconcile the hadith.
Absolutely.
Like Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, when he was walking and someone was cleaning the roof, the water splat, or the servant asked, right? What kind of water is it? Tahur or? Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu said, don't answer it. And he kept on walking for the prayer. Don't answer him, okay? So the idea is that, yes, of course, we have to be careful, particularly in the West, of course. But, correct me if I'm wrong, that I think that, every situation is individualized. I was in the Hajj and someone was doing Hajj for his father. And on 8th or 9th when we did the initial tawaf and started, he did not utter from his tongue his father and his grandfather's name. And the group I was doing, he was told that neither it is his Hajj nor his father's Hajj. He's just doing it, and he was all upset about what's happening, So he was counseled, that you came with the intention that you wouldn't making Hajj for your father, you don't have to utter it, Similarly, breaking wudu is a lot of time that is very common. With me also, 3 rakah, 4 rakah, What did I do? So whatever is my more yaqeen, I just go with that.
Right.
That it is 4 rakah, then alhamdulillah.
Exactly.
And, if I feel like
It is hadith, you have to be sure you have to hear a noise or smell.
for the breaking wudu.
Right.
And the scholar mentioned that it doesn't mean that if you pass and it doesn't happen that your wudu did not get. However, it is just for those people who get like in the obsessive kind of situation, that every time it happened that what I did not do. And I go by with, like I have a lot of time, brain is, shaitan is sitting in there, so when you're praying. So I guess more than other brothers, I always mess up that it is 4 rakah.
So all of us, that's when shaitan most tries to distract.
The best bet is come to the masjid.
Best time, when you want to think of something, come pray. You'll think about everything, mashallah. And unfortunately, we don't know how much of our salah is accepted.
That's true.
Maybe just a takbir, maybe just one verse and so on. Or whether say something very, very important. right? Has to do with understanding the deen. Usually, you have to understand the broad subject. And usually you see me bringing other hadith, maybe 2 or 3 other ones, to include that goes along with this hadith, so that you understand the context of it. Otherwise, some people get a little upset and they don't understand what's happening, like the last hadith that we mentioned. I think it was the 5th one. But alhamdulillah. Any comments, Brother Han? Anything you want to?
I have
Yes.
a comment. So I remember a hadith that the Sahabi who said that he was, I think, entering the mosque and he had his horse outside. So he asked, should I leave it and enter the mosque, or should I secure it and enter the mosque? So he told him, secure it and enter the mosque. Like you have to, like for example, if you like want to eat chicken, like you have to go to the biha store. And then you think, oh, this is the biha, the biha. But don't go to a store that sells on the biha store and then say, oh, this is halal or haram. Like always you have to take an asbab, then you ask yourself, did I make wudu or I didn't make wudu? Like not every time, oh, I'm sure I don't have wudu, but oh, maybe I have wudu, and then you go pray. So like a stuff they call it, like, is, but your heart knows, your heart knows what is right and what is wrong.
الحديث عقلها هذا الحديث
Like you بالأسباب,
الجهاد انك تجاهد
Right.
تجاهد وسواس الشيطان.
Absolutely. It's like the hadith goes, again, that my يريبك لما لا يريبك. Right? If you know for a fact that you have to think about it, you have to do all this and that, it's better than just to read. Just stay away from it. Steer clear. This way you save your conscience, right? You don't have to answer for it. Oh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I did not do this. I did not, I was like in doubt. I kept it moving.
Having a good community to work with is always good.
Absolutely.
If the shaitan come into you when you pray, you say, A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim, then to your left.
Right.
3 times, that's what you do.
I make a mistake, everybody reminds me. SubhanAllah, SubhanAllah.
The kid will remind you of the very praise.
Exactly. Inshallah. So, tomorrow, inshallah, like Brother mentioned, we have the breakfast after the halaqah. It's very small. You should try to attend, even just for the ajab. We're not going to force you to speak into the mic, like I did last time. We're not going to force you to read. Inshallah, just come, take the ajab. Take the ajab. Halaqat al-dhikr, the angels surrounded all the way up to this heaven.
تحفهم الملائكة.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His mercy, forgives those attending. Even the person who didn't come there intending to do the halaqah sitting there.
Even the person preparing breakfast, what is
Inshallah. No, they can do separate ajab as well.
Special ajab.
Special ajab, yes.
But he should do both. He should do this one and the breakfast.